From this past week, I've learned that map hosting is less about the maps and more about the mappers. I quickly added them all to Steam to iron out some urgent issues. For a start, 3 of the 6 maps didn't have enough spawn points, leaving playtesters stranded in Spectate until the mappers could upload fixed versions. It's lovely to see servers full of people playing on these maps, but it's even better to see the map creators on their own levels. And this was really what it was all about. An opportunity for mappers to get first-hand playtesting and feedback from others, and from my point of view, I've been part of 6 very different stories which have unfolded throughout the week. In particular, I'd like to mention Zelz Storm, maker of Ramus, who spent a large part of every day battling it out with you guys on his map. He freely discussed changes with you and took suggestions from others seriously. This was a beautiful project to witness coming together. It's still got a long way to go and I wish him all the best in the future. Cycles had a makeover. Replacing the dark mountain texture with snow immediately made it look more inviting, plus extra lights had been added within its many tunnels to improve visibility. Being the default map after a server reset, this was the most tested of the 6 maps. People didn't seem to mind it being different from normal diffuse maps, though I've had to unban a fair few players who fell off this map too many times. Ancient's Armhouse was a load of fun, in part thanks to bugs and exploits that people discovered, allowing them to climb out of the level. Ancient quickly patched these up and improved gameplay by closing up windows to make the combat more focused. This turned into a very fun and successful map as the week progressed. Phantom Boxing uploaded a video to YouTube which showed a lot of the stuff they got up to on this map. I spoke a lot to Flippy, maker of the beautiful dev texture map Network. At the beginning, the map's design was solid but too large to play like your average diffuse map. Since then, he has made layout changes to try and shift the combat more evenly between the 2 sites. He also redesigned T-Spawn since originally it led people towards a dead end rather than towards one of the 2 sites. Sewage's A site was originally far more developed than the other sites, so Grandma added a raised walkway to the back of B which made it more complicated and added an element of vertical gameplay to make it far more enjoyable. Bots had a field day getting stuck in the little connector bit, but thanks to Bez the Bot Whisperer he managed to get them to ignore this area completely. Turns out that, although player clip blocks movement, bots don't realise this, you have to use a clip texture before they respond and find another way around. And lastly, Frenzy. I am so proud of Bud. The map has had a lighting overhaul which has made it 100 times better, colour coding each part to make it different. He has changed the layout a fair bit and has added lots of details to the level. It's really been transformed over this past week. And the thing is, I very nearly didn't include this map. In the testing, the bots would rush mid every round. It was super boring. But he's really turned it around, and of all of the maps, I think that this has been the one that has seen the greatest all-round improvement. Good job, Bud. And now it's on to the second week, and I have to choose more maps to include, which is very difficult to do. As I said, it's more about choosing the right mappers. I suspect a lot of people submitted their map as a chance to get more publicity, and I don't want to give them this when there are mappers like Zellstorm who will make full use of this opportunity to playtest and to improve their creation. Really, if I knew that somebody would avidly play and change their map every day of the week, then it doesn't really matter what the map's like to begin with. This project was very nearly a disaster. The Steam Collections feature broke just hours before release. Luckily, I found another way of getting the maps added, and since then the servers have been shutting down several times a day until I manually restart them every time. It's definitely something I hope will be fixed at some point in the future. Thanks to Labitech, who has helped out countless times and has saved this whole project. I hope to continue to refine this map testing in future weeks. As I said, I've learned a lot from it as well, and love giving the right mappers the chance to have their creations played. But alas, being a YouTuber means that I can't stick around. I have to move on to new content to keep my audience entertained, and that means saying goodbye to these 6 projects. No doubt I'll be checking up on their progress at some point in the future, but until then I wish Zellstorm, Jdbener, Ancient, Flippy, Grandma and Bud good luck, and farewell. And have fun.